The year was 1884. In a grand hall in Berlin, European powers carved up Africa like a birthday cake. With no African leaders present, foreign nations decided the fate of an entire continent. What followed was one of the most ruthless land grabs in history, the Scramble for Africa. Colonial rulers exploited Africa's land, people, and resources for over 70 years. But while the empires may have collapsed, the effects of that scramble are still very much alive. From artificial borders sparking endless conflicts to economic systems that keep Africa trapped in poverty, the world we live in today is still shaped by decisions made over a century ago. So how did we get here? And why does the scramble for Africa still affect the world today? Let's take a deep dive. Before European powers arrived, Africa was home to thriving civilizations, powerful empires like Mali, Songhai, and the Zulu Kingdom. Trade routes connected the continent to Asia, the Middle East, and Europe. But in the 19th century, European nations, desperate for resources to fuel their industries, turned their eyes to Africa. In 1884, European leaders gathered in Berlin to divide Africa. Britain, France, Germany, Belgium, Portugal, and others laid claim to entire regions, without a single African present. Boundaries were drawn with zero regard for ethnic, linguistic, or cultural realities. One village could wake up to find itself split between two colonies. Long-standing rival groups were forced into the same artificial states. This wasn't just a political change, it was the beginning of Africa's modern struggles. Colonialism wasn't just about control, it was about extraction. Europeans designed African economies for one purpose, to serve European industries. Crops like cocoa, coffee, and cotton were grown for export. Minerals like gold, diamonds, and copper were mined, not for Africans, but for European profit. Even after independence, this economic model never really changed. Today, Africa still exports raw materials while importing finished goods, the system that keeps wealth flowing out of the continent. Foreign companies dominate Africa's resources, and international financial institutions still control African economies through debt and trade policies. Did you know? Africa loses around $88 billion a year to illicit financial flows, more than it receives in aid and investment combined. One of the most devastating legacies of the scramble for Africa is its borders. European powers drew borders without considering the people living there. Groups that had fought for centuries were forced into the same states. Others were split apart. These artificial divisions fueled some of Africa's deadliest conflicts, from the Rwandan genocide to the Nigerian civil war. Even today, ethnic tensions flare up in countries like Ethiopia and the Democratic Republic of Congo. The consequences aren't just local. Instability in Africa affects global security, migration, and trade. Colonialism may have ended, but the fight for Africa never did. Today, we are witnessing a new scramble for Africa, not through military conquest, but through economic and political influence. China is building roads, railways, and ports, offering billions in loans. The US and France still maintain military bases. Russia is involved in security deals. African nations are courted by superpowers, but often on unequal terms. Foreign interests still shape policies, and Africans are left with limited control over their own resources. Despite these challenges, Africa is rising. A new generation of Africans is fighting to take back control through innovation, economic reforms, and political change. There is growing resistance to foreign exploitation, and calls for a new economic model that benefits Africans first. But the road won't be easy. To truly undo the damage of the scramble for Africa, Africans must control their own economies, industries, and politics, not foreign powers. The story of Africa is not just Africa's story. It's a global story. The scramble for Africa reshaped the modern world, and its effects are still unfolding. The conflicts, economic struggles, and geopolitical battles we see today are not accidents, they are the legacy of colonial rule. So next time you hear about instability in Africa, remember, history didn't just happen in the past, it's happening now. Africa's future is being written. The question is, who will hold the pen? Do well to like, share, Subscribe to my channel for more engaging and interesting videos.